Welcome back to another video today. Some days things just don't work. I think I'm having one of those days. I pulled out my scope that I bought. I did a little video on, you might have seen it. And yeah, basically I put a battery in it. I turned it on. It worked for about 30 seconds and then hasn't worked since. I think it's one of those aluminium type setups, you know, where power is transferred through and it's not a good conductor. I messed around with it and basically I couldn't get it to work again, so that's completely died. Awesome little shape, awesome little fiber tip, but you know what I mean, I didn't even get to use it once and it's died. So that's my that's one thing that's gone wrong today. Second thing is I've got all these keys I'm going to be needing to stamp, and I showed my marking machine off a couple of weeks ago, which is a Prior marking machine. It does these little dot impacting ones. Somebody didn't really like my cradles too much, and I guess they were pretty barbaric. But the thing is that a lot of these marking machines have what they call serial number function or counting function. So I thought I'd put out the manual and start to read. And basically I'm reading through, and you know, I go over to serial number. So we'll go over to section number 5, and I'm reading for quite some time, going backwards and forwards to the machine, trying to work it out, thinking, why is this so difficult? And when you look at how they actually word a lot of this sort of stuff, like I read and it just doesn't really, like it. I don't know why they really have overcomplicated this. All this information is good, but it doesn't really get you moving, and that's what's really annoying. Like here we go, editing serial number. To edit a serial number, to reset the number back to 001, for example, it is possible to just select F5. Edit layout, a better solution is to use F9. Edit serial number, this shows the current value of the global serial number and the value of any serial number in the current layout, along with the prompts associated with them. The numbers can be easily changed without having to edit the potentially large layout. What does that mean? Like, seriously, that is overcomplicated. So anyway, I pushed F9, I pushed F5, I pushed F3, I've read all this, and it goes on and on and on and waffles. Global serial numbers. You know, it's telling me the right thing what a global serial number is, okay, fine. But how do you do that? Layout serial numbers. Okay, fine. But how do you do that? And just listen to how it sounds. To put a serial number into the layout, enter the starting value into the layout. Okay, so we did that, 001. And set the line parameters constant for that line to serial. Okay, so how do you do that? If necessary, configure the serial increment and the serial vary parameters for that line to change the way the serial number increments. A prompt may... What a load of shit. Anyway, it goes on and on, right? So you're sitting down, you're reading the whole manual, and all to basically set up just for it to count each time. So I know the machine can do it, and for the last 3 or 4 years I've never ever used it, and I'll show you what I've been doing. Okay, so I'll go to the main screen, so I'll push escape here. So this is the main screen here, right? So if you're going to load a layout, you would go to F2, which is load a layout, and then the one that I want is here. Okay, then you go to edit layout. Now each and every time I've had to change it 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, and I've had to count and count and count. And as I do it, because my cradles I'm making some new cradles, by the way, that person who didn't like my cradles, I've actually had to insert the key, stamp it, change the number, remove the key, and do it again. So what I thought I'd do is I'd read the instructions and actually get it to a point where it can actually just load it, push the green button, load it, push the green button, keep doing that over and over again without needing to enter the text, this text here. So there's my system number and there's my key number. So if I could do that, that would save me a lot of time. But the problem is that that book, as you saw, really didn't help at all. And when I go to the main menu, you think you could work this out? Okay, so we've got mark, load layout, run, trial, save, edit layout, preview, edit variables, create layout, edit serial numbers, other. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. Create layout, right? So here you create layout. So you put your text in there, you go over to where you want it, and that's all you can pretty much do. And then you can print it. So size and position is all you can do. Edit serial number. Okay, so you edit serial number. That doesn't do anything. Other menus: save, delete, offset, move, parameter, global counter, layout counter. And I've tried all of these, and they basically don't allow me to just load a layout which counts by 1 each and every time. So anyway, I've bitched and whinged enough. Okay, do you want to know how it's done? This is what you got to do, right? And this is prior Markmate, and this is all they needed to say in that whole book, and just on that line, right? Load your layout. Disregard changes, yes. Load layout, right? I pick my layout, yes. Edit layout. Start your serial number, yes. Now push the tab button. Nobody ever mentioned the tab button. That's all you got to do. Tab, and then change it here, right here. Global, serial, variable. We change it from text, which it originally was, which means we had to go backwards and forwards and change the text, to serial. And then we go back, and now on this line, instead of being a 1, after it's done the 1, it'll go to 2, and then to 3, and then to 4. And that's all they had to do. Say, if you push tab, you get the variables for that line. They never mentioned that. And that book, you saw that book, what language was that? Anyway, I've ranted enough. Now I'm going to start stamping some keys. I just wanted to share with you, just in case anyone else has a prior marking machine and they're trying to do serial numbers. I couldn't find any help. So, okay, thanks for watching. A moment of truth, I've just marked my number 1. I'm just going to put that down there if I can. Just got to hold that. My camera works terrible. Is this a number 2? Look at that, that's a number 2. See, the problem is I've got to hold it, hold the camera and push the green button. How much quicker is that? I mean, yes, reading the instructions was annoying. Yes, it did speak a different language. But I don't have to edit the text every time. Anyway, it was worth it.